Caracas, Venezuela is an incredible place. Caracas is a city of over 6 million people, surrounded by mountains in an area of 2 miles by 10 miles square. A lot of people, and that equates into a lot of needs. Over 5,000 children under the age of 9 are homeless living on the streets of Caracas. In 1993, we brought our family to Venezuela to live and to begin ministry here. When we saw all the children live on the streets, my wife and I just said a short prayer to God. God, would you let us help them? We want to do something about that. And that began the pursuit of Samuel's House. We began to contact different government officials, different leaders of the community, anyone that would listen to us, to tell them our desire. We want to help these kids. We want to get them off the street. We want to give them a future. And at that, I left it in the hands of God. We continued to minister in doing church planning, evangelism, building churches, drug rehab centers, etc. And it was 10 years later that someone told me about a piece of property an hour out of Caracas that was for sale that would make a great place for a children's home. So we drove out to look at it. It was 18 acres, and it was ideal for what we wanted. We talked to the owner. He told us he wanted $30,000 for it. I didn't have $30,000. I told him we'd think about it. About 2 weeks went by, and it was on a Sunday night that I told my wife, you know, we're going to do it. We're just going to take a step of faith, and we're going to do it. I went to the phone right then on Sunday night, called the owner, said, we want to buy your property. Draw up the papers. When it's time to pay, I'll have the money. It was the very next day, after that Sunday night, I got a phone call from a friend of mine. He said, I was with a church last night, and they want to buy your property. And so the very next day, God provided the miracle. We were able to buy the property. And it was from there that it just began to grow and explode, and God began to send people and different teams to come down and help us build. So God has just begun to develop this. It was in His timing and for His glory and His purpose that we can impact this generation with these children. When we began the project, Samuel's House, a ministry for abandoned and street children, we really had no idea how far it would go. We're actually changing a generation, that we are raising up children who are going to be exposed to the presence of God, that are going to be shown how to walk in the ways of the Lord, and that when they grow up, that they are going to impact their world. The very first children we brought to Samuel's House, I'll never forget, there were 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. The littlest boy was 2 years of age. He looked around, and every man who came onto the job site, Orlando would ask him the same question. He would say this, are you my daddy? Grown men with tears streaming down their cheeks would turn and walk away. But now Orlando doesn't say that anymore. He has a daddy. Right now we have the 8 houses that are built. Each house will have a set of parents and up to 10 children. We're committed to these children to put them through college so they can get a college education, so they will have an opportunity to go into the job market and compete, and not just compete and survive, but to be successful. One of our visions is to be able to make this self-sustaining. So in doing so, we have planted. We have the 18 acres, which is for the houses, and then we also bought another 100 acres that we have for planting for crops and produce and production. And it's in that we have a chicken barn. We raise chickens and we process over 1,000 chickens every month that we sell to local restaurants. And then it also provides food for our homes. We have avocado, over 500 avocado trees. We have over 500 orange trees. We have mango trees, lemon trees. We're producing corn. We have our greenhouse, which produces hybrid peppers that we sell to the local market. All of these things are not only to provide food for the homes and the children, but also to sell, to help provide income, generate revenue for the project. We're getting ready to expand. We want to be able to build more chicken barns. We have cattle, not only for the meat, but we have milk cows for milk, and we're making cheese now. We have the pigs that we have for the meat, and we also sell those. all of these things that we're using, not only to help us for food, but we also resell, which will generate to help sustain the project we're doing. Along with that, we have a sewing center where the ladies come and they sew, and they provide school uniforms, shirts, different things that we can sell to the local community, the local market, to help provide the income. One of the things we want to do that we're building in our multi-purpose building is a medical clinic. And in this medical clinic, we're going to have for general medicine and also dental. We're going to be able to provide medical attention to the local community around our children's home. We invite you to come down and spend a day, 2 days with us, seeing the children, the changes that take place in their life, to see the computer lab that we have for the children with wireless internet where they can do their homework, where they can study, the library that they have where they can do research. And I believe that your investment is going to be a perpetual investment. It's not going to stop right here with 80 children, but it's going to go ongoing. And as we've received abundance, we want to give back to other foundations, to other people who need a help. And so I just encourage you, be a part. It's an investment that will reap great dividends.